What's up, YouTube? We're gonna get deep into this one right here. Now, I've seen a couple of videos on this right here. Shout out to everybody checking out the channel. It's my first video and I had plenty of sleep. It's 4:40 in the morning, y'all. But check this out, man. I apologize for falling asleep. I'm falling asleep doing one of the reactions. Yeah, I was getting knocked out. The background noise that in her video was getting on my nerves, the background noise. So I was concentrating on how, as a sound technician, how can you get that background noise out, and you can't. Anyway, check it out, man. Man punched in the face, yanked from car in Jacksonville, police in viral video. They're addressing the media. Now, I think this is very, very important because apparently the younger generation don't seem to understand the law. They don't understand the law. They think that they can decide, well, I ain't do nothing, so I ain't getting out the car. Wrong. If the police tell you to get out the car, you must get out the car. That should be printed on the front of the driver's license because that's law. I don't like the law. I didn't make the law. I'm just telling you what law is. And there are mixed thoughts on this situation. Don't get me wrong. The police was wrong as two left shoes. He was wrong punching this guy in the face. That's not police work. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm shocked over the fact that they let this police officer stay on the force after that. I think this is what we heard. So we gonna, just to let you guys know, and you know, I be having so much to say, man. Don't make me no, we ain't gonna start off like that. Don't make me smack you now. We ain't gonna say it like that. Let's take that back. Let's say it like this. Don't type stupid stuff in the comments, man. The comments, somebody said something in the comments about I can't remember now, but let me paraphrase. Your channel is growing so fast they must be paying you too. Who paying me? YouTube paying me. Yeah, YouTube paying me, definitely. It's about money. Yes, it's about money. YouTube paying me. But if you're trying to insinuate that Puffy or somebody else is paying me, you need to go back and look at all 10,000 videos and see if I'm helping Puffy. Hello? Don't be stupid. They saying stupid stuff out their mouth. Well, typing stupid stuff. I have never in my life said anything to help Diddy. In fact, if Diddy's paying me, just in case you're talking about the Diddy thing, just in case. If somebody's paying me, I would take, if they paying me $1 million, I would take $800,000 because I gotta get my broker fee, and I would hire somebody to handle that business. I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. Shoot, I gotta get my broker fee out of there. I'm just playing. Anyway, check it out, man. Pardon me. Man punched by JSO officer in viral traffic stop. Oh man, now I'm just gonna play the daggone thing. So this will give you an idea of what went down, just in case you don't know about the story and everything. So I'm gonna pick it up from right here. Here we go.
Has garnered hundreds of thousands of views on social media today. And we want to show you what we're talking about. This is the video. This man is 22-year-old William McNeel.
See, he won't get out the car. He wouldn't roll down the window. They done asked him 100,000 times, you have to step out the car. And he's filming. So he's ready to go viral. I don't know what's going to happen, but I ain't getting out the car and I'm going to go viral. The kids in today's world is more concerned about clicks and views than doing the right thing. They don't care. They don't look. I ain't getting out the car because I ain't do nothing. That's not what the point is. The point is not if you did something or not. The point is the police officer is asking you to get out the car. You must get out. That comes with owning a vehicle. It comes with it. Don't like the rule? I don't care. But that's the rule. So this is the part that kills me, man. So he's wrong. My man in the red shirt, sorry, bro, but you're wrong. So let's go.
Hundreds of thousands of views on social media today. And we want to show you what we're talking about. This is the video. This man is 22-year-old William McNeel Jr. He was caught on camera getting his window broken by some Jacksonville sheriff's officers while this was a traffic stop. And then he's punched in the face at least twice during the course of this video. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office telling us that McNeel was pulled over for not having his headlights on while it was raining. McNeel refusing to get out of the car when told to by police officers. Now, within the last 2 hours, we're learning McNeel, the driver, hired 2 high-profile civil rights attorneys, and that's where our Zach Wilcox comes in. He's joining us in the studio tonight. And Zach, you spoke to one of the attorneys.
Yeah, Jess, I talked with Harry Daniels, one of the attorneys that he brought in, who said he feels the officers were out of control here, and he feels the only person who was in control in this situation was McNeel. Now, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters announced the agency is investigating the video to figure out the circumstances of what happened. And with that context, let's take a look.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right?
The video from this past February begins with William McNeel Jr. explaining to a Jacksonville Sheriff's officer, who you can't see on camera, that an officer pulled him over for not having his headlights on.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter.
I asked First Coast News crime and safety analyst Ken Jefferson about the headlights law.
What was the probable cause for the stop? The statute for pulling someone over for driving without your headlights is if it's foggy, if it's smoky, or if it's rainy, or if there's any kind of precipitation. Based on the video that I watched, it looked as though the sun was out.
McNeel then asks to see the law, and the officer says he'll show it to him when he agrees to step out of the car.
If an officer asks you to get out of your car on a traffic stop, just comply. You're not going to win an argument on the street with an officer, so don't go back and forth with them.
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hand.
The punch in the face was not necessary, man. And I don't know who is your supervisor or who's in charge, but I heard, maybe I'm wrong, I'm hoping I'm wrong, that he still has his job. You don't punch anyone in the face unless it's necessary. The man, they hadn't even opened the door yet, and you punching the dude in the face. And he punched him in the face again.
Here.
33 at 15:21 hours.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right.
No.
Why did you use that type of force when a person is not being combative, physically combative, or actually resisting you physically?
Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters issued a statement saying, in part, quote, "We have launched an internal investigation into it and the circumstances surrounding this incident. We hold our officers to the highest standards and are committed to thoroughly determining exactly what occurred."
Exit the vehicle now!
The driver's attorney, Harry Daniels, says it took months for his client to recover.
His tooth went through his lip at some point, and he had to get stitches. Been slammed on the ground. He suffered a closed head injury.
I asked Daniels what the ideal outcome would be now that his law firm is involved in the case.
The officer that punched and beat him, and the ones who watched and they do nothing, should be held to the same rule of law that everybody else is held to. So arrest and prosecution, that's a perfect world.
A spokesperson with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office told me he wasn't aware of any official complaints filed with the department for this incident. Daniel says they'll likely host a press conference this week, which we'll make sure to share with you. Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.
Okay, now, check this out, man. I'm trying to see what these people are saying. So let's rock this from the beginning. This is the press conference. So just in case y'all, again, haven't heard of it.
This morning, the
I wanted to
man in a viral jacket.
I wanted to give some content of exactly what it is they're talking about. And this stop went on for a little while. Everybody was saying that it must be raining because you can see raindrops on the car, but you ain't see no fresh raindrops. It wasn't raining. That's a fact. That's a fact. It was raining, but when he made the stop, it was not raining anymore. But also the police also mentioned that I pulled you over because you was driving without a seatbelt. So that was his backup reason. You got to have a reason to pull somebody over, period. You can't just pull any car over. You got to have a reason to pull people over. So his backup reason was he didn't have the seatbelt on. Now, of course, you could clearly see he had his seatbelt on. When the police officer make a U-turn or put the lights on, you get ready to pull you over, you can quickly slide your seatbelt on. I have done that plenty of times. And the police officer walk up and say, you didn't have your seatbelt on when I pulled you over. Yeah, you right, man. You right. I just go ahead and start telling them, you right. But anyway, let's check this out. Let's check out what they have to say. This is 41 minutes long.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrest video is now speaking out for the first time. Good morning. I'm Bethany Reese. William McNeel Jr. and his attorneys are now at a local church in Ribault. Let's listen in.
Violence and driving on suspended license. That entire stop was not just pretextual, racial motivated. It was unlawful. And everything that stemmed from that stop was unlawful. What we're not going to do this morning is get in the back and forth between the leaders of Jacksonville. What we're going to do, we're going to focus on the facts. And everybody saw the video. You can release all the body cameras you want. But the body camera, the cell phone footage was unedited. It is a reality. You can talk about a knife being in the car, but it was not a weapon because he did not weaponize it. He stayed calm. The only weapon that day was a Jacksonville Sheriff Office. The nation saw it. Everybody saw it. And we are here for redress and get justice for the McNeel family.
Amen.
Nothing more, nothing less. William have a long road to recovery to go. I'm not going to get in his injuries. You see pictures and things online, but William attended Livingston College, band scholarship. His president is here today. So this narrative, they always have this narrative being, he was a thug. Right. He was a criminal. Yeah. That's the narrative.
Yes, sir.
But William was doing William was doing everything right.
Everything.
A college student on scholarship, doing what's required of him to be a better person. And all he did was exercise his fundamental rights, his God-given rights, to answer a simple question. Why are you stopping me? For not having headlights on during the day? Did y'all see the video where the officers came with no headlights on? No windshield wiping? No smoke? No fog? No rain? So anybody...
That was crazy because the police officer, you could see it in the video, the police officer pulling up, the police, he ain't have no lights on. That was, I said, God damn, they making this worse. He had no windshield wipers on, but he pulling up. Dang, that's crazy. Here we go.
I would be confused. Why are you stopping me?
Yes.
And he exercised their right to answer that question, and they bullied him, intimidated him, broke his window, and beat him and caused permanent injuries. Look, I'm gonna step aside. We got a lot of folks up here to get a chance to speak. Here, we'll come back for a Q&A. We will have limited Q&A with William. His parents is here. Solomon, Latoya, and his stepfather Alton is here as well, wearing the red. Next, I'm gonna bring up my good friend, my colleague, Attorney Big. We home, we in Florida, so I had to bring him home. Man, Crump, come on.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Attorney Harry Daniels. I'm honored to co-counsel with you and Attorney Keefe and all these great lawyers, Attorney Jackson and Attorney Robinson, because this is a very, very important case. As Attorney Daniels said, when William was stopped, there was no rhyme or reason, no rationale for them stopping him. I mean, this was a classic case of driving while black.
What happened to the seatbelt thing? I mean, do the officers have proof or any type of backup plan showing that he was driving without a seatbelt on? Because all the footage we see, he was sitting there with his seatbelt on, which is probably proof that he didn't have the seatbelt on, because by this time, a normal person would have taken off the seatbelt, got their driver's license and registration. But they are skipping over, and this what kills me about these type of things, man. They pointing out all the stuff that the police did wrong, and the police did wrong, but they're not owning up to what he did wrong. If the police ask you to step out your car, dude, you got to, man, or you wrong. I don't know why people think they cannot step out their car, because apparently every time this happens, they get dragged out the car. So it should be known, and I'm trying to help people understand, if the police ask you for any reason to get out the car, you must obey. That's all I know.
And I applaud William McNeel for keeping his demeanor, his calmness. I mean, Attorney Daniels, I thought the trained police officers were supposed to be the ones to de-escalate the matter. They were the ones escalating the matter, while this young man represented the best of us. He kept calm. He was trying to de-escalate the matter. He just kept asking simply, why are you stopping me? I mean, think about that. I understand the sheriff said anti-police. No. It's not anti-police when an American citizen asks, why are you stopping me? That is an American citizen exercising his constitutional rights. That's what William was doing. He was exercising his constitutional rights. And Attorney Daniels and I seek to remind America that we are a democracy, that we believe in the Constitution, and that all American citizens have a right to the protections of the Constitution, that this is not a police state where the police are above the law and that they have no accountability. No, the last time I checked, America is still a democracy, and our citizens still have a right to the Constitution. It goes without saying that the leaders now have to step up and be leaders. Look at that video. Look at that video with your own eyes. Listen with your own ears. We have audio, visual evidence, proof of what happened. Nobody has to narrate it for us. To the sheriff, respectfully, you can't justify this. You can't condone this. You have to condemn this. You have to look at that video and say, this does not reflect our training, our policies, or our values. And you need to terminate that officer immediately. Because as Attorney Daniels and I deliberated over this matter, if you don't terminate this officer and you condone this type of police excessive force, then it sends a message to all of the other police officers on the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office team. It tells them it is okay for you to treat citizens like this. It is okay to treat black motorists like this. In America, it is not okay. It is not okay.
I seen white police beat up white people like that. So y'all pointing out this black thing, and I'm not saying in all cases. A lot of cases they are racial cops. Hell, they racial black cops. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, race is there, but Jesus, man. I mean, the dude didn't get out the car. He's a college student. Why does a college student don't know the rules of driving a vehicle? These are the rules of driving a vehicle, of holding that driver's license. This is a rule. I don't understand why they don't understand this.
Treat our citizens like this. I know you're going to hear from his mother and father before you hear from William, but Attorney Daniels and I were astonished to hear his father, Alton Solomon, say, when I was 22 years old, the sheriff's department did a similar thing to me. They put me face down on the ground at gunpoint. And it wasn't right then, Mr. Solomon, and it wasn't right when they did it to William. It's never right to treat citizens like this. America, we're better than this. We're at a crossroads. We are a democracy. We believe in the Constitution. We are not a police state where the police can do anything they want to citizens without any accountability. We have to hold everybody accountable. That is what makes America the great beacon of hope and justice for the rest of the world to marvel. Thank you, Attorney Daniels. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Real quick, just reminded, this is it's a culture of the Jacksonville Sheriff Office. I've represented several people down here named such as Jamie Johnson, LaKen Wood, so y'all remember was vicious beaten by the Jacksonville Sheriff Office. And you know, the common denominator, Jamie Johnson, they stopped him for a seatbelt violation. LaKen Woods, they stopped him for a seatbelt violation. And they tried to say they stopped Mr. McNeel for a seatbelt violation, but the video showed he had his seatbelt on. Listen, next person gonna bring up Attorney Griggs and Attorney Keefe real quickly to say some words. We're gonna bring in Dr. Davis, the president of Livingston College. Come on up real quick.
Attorney Gerald Griggs, Gerald Griggs, and I am a civil rights attorney in Atlanta. And when I saw the video of what happened to Mr. McNeel, I was aghast. It was horrific for somebody who was simply exercising their Fourth Amendment rights to ask for a supervisor as to why he was being pulled over, and to see the video on multiple angles of him not resisting, his hands up, and for him to be punched in his face after breaking the glass, ripped out onto the floor, to the ground, and then beaten is atrocious anywhere in America. But Florida has a police brutality problem. It's had a police brutality problem for a long time. And so as a native of the state of Georgia, whose mother is from Jacksonville, I know far too well of the brutality here in Jacksonville. And so what we are calling for is justice. This is not a war on police.
That's right.
This is about justice and accountability for everyone.
Amen. Amen.
So to the sheriff, if you're truly about law and order, you need to turn the law and order on that officer that brutalized Mr. McNeel. Because let's be clear, in this country, nobody's above the law. Nobody can violate the Constitution and not have consequences. And so it's incumbent upon everyone to understand that this could have been us. This could have been me. This could have been you. And but for William's calm nature, his ability to de-escalate, his ability to remain calm. So I was talking in the back and somebody reminded me of some of the heroes of the civil rights movement and how they remained calm when they suffered those brutal indignations. And that harkens back to what William did. He held his hands up. He remained calm. He took a punch without retaliating. What more would you want? They say he was resisting. Resisting what? The punch to his face? How was he resisting? By putting his hands up? We all give our children the talk, and he mastered the talk. Yes. So now the ball is in law enforcement's court. What more would you have someone do other than ask and exercise their constitutional rights? Amen. This is atrocious. We need justice and accountability. We need that officer held accountable, and I'm honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with William, Attorney Ben Crump, Attorney Harry Daniels, and all of the lawyers that are behind this. But now we need America to send a message. Y'all saw the video. 20 million views. It's time for 20 million people to contact the sheriff and say you need to do something.
They need to do something. Something needs to happen with this police officer punching.
Jason Keith, I would like to say a couple of things. We're not going to take a lot of your time. First of all, I'm blessed and honored to be here to assist Mr. Daniels, Mr. Crump, Mr. Greggs, Mr. Covington. I'm out of Greensboro, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and we flew in because this case is important. It represents everything we stand for.
People flying
I've stood
in
toe-to-toe with Mr. Daniels and Mr. Crump and these matters. And we just don't want them to be any more matters like this. We want change. And I think that the most important part about this is at this stage, I think we've had a lot of conversations about Mr. McNeel and how he responded. But the question is now is how is Jacksonville, Florida going to respond? That's the question. I mean, as we look and we see our youth and we try to give an understanding of what to do in these encounters, what happens when we do all the right things and it still turns out wrong? What happens next? How do we turn the page? How do we make it to where you don't have to fly all these people in to fight for something that should have never happened in the first place? And so I would like to say a couple things. I would like to say, first, I'm honored to be here, and we are here to fight for you, and we're going to fight, and we're going to stay as long as it takes. We're flying every time we need to. I'll come back. We'll come back. But we want accountability, and we want it at all levels. And we don't want this to be a situation of swept underneath the rug, because if not, it's going to happen to somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Keith and Attorney Griggs. It is not lost on us, as Attorney Daniels said, that William represented the best we had to offer. He had never been arrested, never been convicted of any crime. And you can see from everything that happened on the video, he was a very measured young man. And he was trained at a historically black college and university of Livingston College in North Carolina. And it exemplified the best that our children are. You know, when you think about this moment, this truly is what he exhibited was a 21st century Rosa Parks moment, where an African American had the audacity to say, I deserve equal justice under the law. I deserve to be treated like a human being with all the respect that a human being is entitled to. And we can only imagine, had he not been filming that video, what the narrative would have been.
The same.
And I guess as Attorney Daniels told me, no, we know what the narrative would have been, because he said they didn't know he was filming, and so they wrote these reports that were completely contradicted by the video. And so, God knows, you're going to hear from his mother and father in a minute. I can't think of what black mothers must feel when they watch that video. It's hard, if you're not a black mother, to fathom how much you have to pray every time your child leaves the house that they don't become the next hashtag. Well, he's a hashtag, and thank God he's here, because he represents the best of us. Livingston College and HBCUs around America can be proud of William McNeel Jr. Yeah. And President Anthony Davis, the president of Livingston College, who, like Attorney Daniels and I, are a great Omega man.
Sure. Tell the story.
Did not think it robbery to come and stand with his student to let them know that all the HBCU family stands with them. So we're going to hear from this great leader, President Anthony Davis.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but we have miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep. Meaning that guess what? We have a lot of work to do. My name is Dr. Anthony J. Davis. I am the 13th president of Livingstone College, an HBCU in Salisbury, North Carolina, where Will, that is my affectionate term for him, Will, attends. A biology major who volunteers to play in the marching band. A biology major, not a music major, a biology major that volunteers to play in the marching band. A volunteer in the marching band, an academic student in biology, but also spends time on the weekends being a servant. Like Dr. King said, all of us can be great because all of us can serve. This young man will volunteer on the weekends helping young men and women who don't have the funds to get their cars repaired. He'll find a little corner with a shade tree and he'll go ahead and he'll help students from that old hymn book, if I can help somebody. Amen. As I pass along, if I could cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that they're traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. But we see in that video that his rights were violated.
Yes, they were.
You know, but he showed us restraint. He showed us a little resolve, showed us resistance.
Yes.
But you know what he's showing us today by standing here tall and strong? That he's resilient.
That part.
Which means he's going to bounce back.
This is sad. This is so sad, man.
Well, first of all, I want this family to know that the entire Blue Bear Nation stands with Will. Mm-hmm. We stand with you. Mm-hmm. And we believe in what Dr. King said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Just know this. There are consequences, and repercussions for your actions. Mm-hmm. On my campus, I haven't had a fight since I've been president in 3 years. You know why? My students know that any act of violence, there are consequences and repercussions. They know that they go home. At minimum, the sheriff who assaulted Will needs to go home.
Yes.
It's sad, man.
You come over.
It's sad that they hyping up and they are spreading wrong information. I was going to wait. I'm gonna go ahead and I looked up. You can Google ChatGPT it, or you can do whatever, research it. If a police officer asks you to step out of your car, do you have to? Do you have to apply? And the first thing it says is yes, because that's the law. I can see if it wasn't the law or the police made this rule up. This is the law that's on the books. So all this stuff they talking is bull because, don't get me wrong, the police officer shouldn't have punched him in the face. They shouldn't have drug him out. He had his hands up. They could have just grabbed him and said, put your hands in behind your back. They didn't give him, once he got him out the car, they didn't ask him any of that. They just started fighting. And they shouldn't have done that, punching him in the face again after he got out the car. Now, it ain't for you to judge why the police officers stop you. And then they sit there and have court right on the side of the road. This needs to stop. That's the part that needs to stop. People thinking that they can have court right on the side of the road. I don't understand this, man, but let's listen to what the mother have to say. I feel sorry for these people, man. I feel sorry for all of them up there on the stage. Especially the lawyers. The lawyers know the rules. They know they wrong. But nah, they gonna sit there and turn it like this a little bit just so they can get their little 5 minutes of camera time.
I'm LaToya Solomon. I'm William McNeel's mother. He's my firstborn.
Okay.
He's also my only son.
Okay.
I have 4 children. He is the only boy. I have 3 girls. The day I seen that video, I couldn't finish it past the window breaking. It wasn't until maybe a few months ago I finally finished the whole video. But I'm thankful to God for protecting him, because I know what the outcome could have been. But I believe in faith in God. It's what protected my only son, and I thank God for that.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Alton Solomon, the father, stepfather, but I can't call him my stepson because this is my son.
Yes, sir.
I've been through what he's been through. To see that video made me go back to the moment when I was 22. It hurted. It made me upset. But I seen what my son did that I had to do. And he sat right. And he did right. To see that, it's a hurting feeling to be a father that loved God first, and to see all my kids not being able to wake up in the morning and get a phone call saying your child is gone. That's a hurting feeling, but I thank God.
Yes.
Because God got him. Y'all keep us in prayer.
We're just going to make a few remarks before we go to Q&A. And keep this family in prayer, because as his mother and father both said, they knew he could have been the next hashtag. It could have been a different result had he not kept his demeanor.
First of all, I want to thank God for bringing everybody here together, and thank y'all for supporting me. That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared. And that's it.
Okay, and that's enough, William.
Yeah.
Justice for William McNeel. Justice for William McNeel. Justice for William McNeel.
Justice for William McNeel.
Justice for William McNeel.
Justice for William McNeel.
We have to stand up for our children. We have to speak up for our children, and we have to fight for our children. If we don't fight for our children, nobody else is going to fight for our children.
Man, this is way too long, and he is going to ramble on about more stuff.
Even after the arrest and going in for the first appearance and making a decision to take a plea that he should not have taken a plea to. He was suffering from a concussion. That should have been identified by the courts. But
he took a plea? Wait a minute. Hold up. I got to back it up, son.
By yourself.
Wait a minute.
When you ask your question from the media, yes, ma'am.
Hold up.
I'm not sure if William.
Can you identify yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm with WJXT, Mr. Jax. I don't know if William can answer this or not, but I know the incident happened in February. What gave you the courage to share the video now?
Attorney Daniels.
That's a great question. We were very afraid. Even after the arrest and going in for the first appearance and making a decision to take a plea that he should not have taken a plea to. He was suffering from a concussion. That should have been identified by the courts. But to answer...
Oh my God, are you serious? Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that he have already gone to court on this and they asked, are you guilty or not guilty? And he must have said, I'm not guilty, whatever. And they went to court and everything. And they said, look, man, you're going to take this plea. You can take this plea deal, meaning that you give up and you have less time and less charges and all this type of stuff. So they doing all this after the plea deal? Oh my God, dude, are you serious? This can't get no worse. People, and y'all call yourself lawyers? I know this stuff.
First appearance and make a decision to take a plea that he should not have taken a plea to. He was suffering from a concussion. That should have been identified by the courts. But to answer your question, you know, he experienced a traumatic incident where a sworn officer who taken an oath to uphold the law broke the law and beat him.
Facts.
So he's very afraid. He didn't know what could be the consequences or repercussions of presenting. But he, with his faith in his family and speaking with his legal team, you know, he decided to move forward in this matter, particularly that it's not just about William McNeel. It can be somebody else tomorrow, and that's what drove him to come forward.
I would simply say this. Thank God he recorded that video. Thank God he recorded that video. Yeah, I mean, when you think about all the young people should be recording these interactions with law enforcement, because what it tells us, just like with George Floyd, if we don't record the video, we can see what they put in the police report with George Floyd before they realized the video existed. Right. And now we see what they put in the police report before they realized William McNeel video existed. So everybody, make sure you keep recording all of these interactions with law enforcement.
Right here.
Elaine Quijano with CBS News. I wonder, it was said earlier, quote, we all give our children talk, and he mastered the talk. William, are you able to share what you were taught growing up about police encounters, and how did that come into play in the
Basically, what I was taught is to, instead of fighting them on the street where we don't have power at, you know, fight them in the courts.
Amen.
That's right.
So why did you get out? So you should have got out the car.
You talked about your composure in that moment. What was going through your mind during that encounter?
So there's a lot. There's a lot going through.
Right.
Jake's no man actually is Jack's. The sheriff has basically said if a complaint had been filed, the court just would have come to light earlier.
I go first. Okay, you go first.
Let's
go first.
You got it.
Yeah, you come too.
The man ain't even finished his question, and they already talking about, you gonna go first? I go first. We gonna have to get him. We gonna get him. Oh yeah, no, I got him. You got him. I got him. They ain't even listening to the question. They not even listening to the question, man. They just ready to attack.
Jake's no man actually is Jack's. The sheriff has basically said if a complaint had been filed, the court just would have come to light earlier.
I go first. Okay, you go first. Let's go first. You got it. Yeah, you come too.
You've been got interviewed by the state attorney.
No. He was never interviewed by State Attorney Melissa Nelson's office. Never once did they talk to this young man. And I would assume they saw the body cam video from the police department, and they said, well, no problem. They saw everything that America is seeing, and they said, no problem. And that is the problem. That is the problem?
That's a great question. So in the report, it talks about force was used. The sheriff said if the force was used, that his people will review it, the body camera footage, and as such. You know, as Attorney Crump said, that the state's attorney's office, how can you make a conclusion that there's no criminality in the face of, if a picture's worth 1,000, a video worth 10,000?
A million.
A million. But more importantly, as an ambassador of justice, that's the job of a prosecutor, to seek the truth. Did not even come and speak to the victim in the case. I know where I'm from in Georgia, Gerald, the prosecutor usually talk to the victim because they have victim rights. How can you make a determination of no criminality before you even get a chance to talk to Mr. McNeel? What I believe it was and I'm gonna say it, a whitewashing. Whitewashing.
Yeah.
But for that video, we would not be here. And we thank God that Mr. McNeel had the courage to record.
And let me address the first part of your question about why he didn't make an internal complaint. You watch that video. What is alarming to me is that there are several officers on the scene. And they seem like it was business as usual.
It is. Jacksonville.
And so, how can you trust a system like that to say, oh, who are you going to report the police to? The police? That's why we believe you need an independent investigation separate from the state attorney's office here in Jacksonville, Florida. We do not believe that is an independent investigation. I know several citizens have said they believe a conflict of interest arises with the state attorney and the sheriff's office in Jacksonville. A person who is unbiased looking at this video sees William as a victim. Unfortunately and apparently, the state attorney or the sheriff's department never saw William as a victim. They only saw him as a perpetrator, a criminal, the worst that they would define a person. But we saw the best in William. We see the best in our children, just like you see the best in your children. This is about driving while black. We don't believe they ever would have done that had this been a young white citizen.
Go ahead.
I have a couple questions.
Who are you?
My name is Will Brown. I work for Jacksonville today.
Okay.
First, as someone who's named William, do you prefer Will or William? Will? Okay. Secondly, Mr. McNeel, when you immediately requested a supervisor, what was it that had you feel uncomfortable to the point of immediately saying, I would like a supervisor? Was there something about the officer's conduct or the way that the stop happened that immediately led you to say, I would like a supervisor?
So one thing that the sheriff released some videos, and according to William, there's another video, another officer's there. They didn't release this video. Officer had him at gunpoint. So now you at gunpoint, and they telling you for not having headlights on, you better ask for a supervisor.
So the request, the gunpoint, you were at gunpoint?
Not initially, but he was continuing to request for us. It was off the camera. You couldn't see it. According to William, he was being held at gunpoint by one of these officers. So the fact remains that this video shows what happened from the initial assault, and the body camera showed the initial interaction. But at the same time, what's your name?
Will.
Will, what we're talking about is somebody getting pulled over for not having headlights on during the day. That's suspicious within itself.
And no seatbelt. They keep leaving that part out. Because in the video, he said, I pulled you over because you didn't have a seatbelt on and you driving with no headlights. Or he said, you driving with no headlights and you didn't have your seatbelt on. One of the two. I can't remember all this stuff. But that police officer mentioned you driving without a seatbelt on. Whatever happened with that? Did they show proof of that in the court? Because none of them has mentioned anything about a seatbelt yet. Strange, isn't it?
You know, I've been black my whole 44 years. You know, if somebody's telling me they pulling me over not having headlights on and it's day outside and no rain and anything, I'm concerned. What are you really pulling me over for? Can you bring your supervisor to the scene? And that was his response. Over right here, your media.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Wanda P. with Hot 106.5 Radio, a Cox Media Group station. Action News Jax is our news partner. Can I ask a follow-up to what Will was asking? Have you all identified who that officer was that held him at gunpoint? And then my actual question is about William's recovery. What is it that he's recovering from his injuries, if you can answer?
Yeah, at this point, we think it's more appropriate that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department identify the officers. We don't want to speculate. If they're proud of the conduct on the video, then they should release the officers' names. I'm going to have Attorney Daniels talk about William's recovery and the symptoms that he experienced. I mean, this was a horrific, brutal encounter. Did y'all see where they was knocking his head against the concrete while he was in handcuffs?
God, if it was so brutal, how come he's still up and walking around? And I mean, come on, man. Are you serious? I mean, don't get me wrong. They punched the guy in the face 2 or 3 times, which was uncalled for. It looked like he need him. I don't want to add to it, but it sure enough looked like he was about to do a knee type thing to him. The whole thing looks bad. But if you would have got out the car, none of that would have happened. They wouldn't have drawn no gun that we ain't never see. You know, oh man, this is
you know, not to go too much into it, William actually suffered permanent injuries. You can see he had a fractured tooth. His tooth actually went through his lip where he had to endure stitches and closed head injury. He was concussed, and he's still under evaluation from doctors at this time. Dr. Davis knows William as a president of Livingstone Colleges, and he can see the cognitive decline. So this is a long recovery for him. These are things that we are ensure that he get the help that he need, so he can get back on track. All right.
Yeah. Let me say this on that there, if you could, and I want you to say anything here. Let William just stand, because I noticed this morning. His teeth was actually broke. When you still sit there, could you just I mean, this was a violent encounter. His tooth went into his lip, and he has stitches all on his lips. I mean, this is not good policing. Nobody can say this is good policing.
No. And it wasn't just one officer. When William was on the ground, it was multiple officers hitting him, putting his head into the concrete. So
yeah, I think one guy was holding his head down into the concrete, probably way too hard. And I think they were saying one police officer was like hitting him in the back of his legs, punching him in the back of his legs while he was down, while they trying to put the handcuffs on him. I don't think in any state a police officer is supposed to be punching somebody in the face, and he did that twice. So that got to be on some body cams. He punched the guy in the damn face. He punched this little boy in the face. I could see if he was in a fighting stance. Oh my God, that was wrong as 2 left shoes, man. Them police officers was wrong. Breaking the window, no problem. Getting him out the car, no problem. But punching him in the face, we got a problem.
One officer may have been suspended or take police powers away from him, but there's more to come.
Okay, see, that proves that the police officer did something wrong. Wait a minute.
Officers hitting him, putting his head into the concrete. So one officer may have been suspended or take police powers away from him, but there's more to come. Right here, there's somebody in the back over here. Right here, I got you.
Hi, Bradley Phillips with First Coast News. Were you hit in the face outside of the car? Yes.
I mean, the video is clear. He was punched in the face. I mean, outside the car. It's clear that he's punched in the face outside the car. Yeah.
It's more clear. It's more clear that he was punched outside of the face. Punched in the face outside of the car. Tried to say that 3 times. But it wasn't as clear when he was punched in the face inside the car. It wasn't that clear. And I was like, did he punch him? I had to rewind it a couple of times. But it was 2 different times when he got punched in the face.
And that's good. We invite the media, just like they did with George Floyd, it is good to slow down the video and go frame by frame and count the excessive use of force incidents on this young man who only crime allegedly was he didn't have his headlights on and he didn't have his seatbelt on. Things that most
Thank you. That right there is what killed them right there. You just put your dagger in or whatever you want. That's it. The police officer stated twice, over and over again, "Sir, I pulled you over because you didn't have your seatbelt on. I pulled you over because you didn't have your headlights on." He could have been wrong about the headlights, and 99% of the time he was wrong. We wasn't there. What you can prove in court or whatever the case may be, you can clearly prove with both of they what you call it when you here's my proof, my receipts. We call them receipts now. My proof. Where's your proof? Where's your it's another word I'm looking for. Your receipts. The fact is, you can clearly, nobody can prove that it was raining at that particular time. So you pulling him over because he didn't have his headlights on, that's out of there. Get it out of there. No judge, nobody in the world believes that you put him over because he didn't have his headlights on because it wasn't raining. You're wrong for doing that. But you're right for still pulling him over because he didn't have his seatbelt on. But where's your proof? We got to take the police officer's word for it. He could be lying. He could be lying because all the footage and stuff we see, my man had his seatbelt on. But you could have put that on. But
people would get a notice to appear.
Here we go.
Was he didn't have his headlights on and he didn't have his seatbelt on. Things that most people would get a notice to appear. He got punches in his face, head beat against the concrete, and a gun drawn on him.
Right. That ain't what happened, y'all. Y'all twisted this shit. They twisting it, y'all. My bad, y'all. Hey, y'all, they ain't gonna like me on this video. Yeah, they twisting it. He didn't have his seatbelt on, and he refused to get out the car. Now we on something different. That's how the smashing of the glass and the punching of the face, which shouldn't have happened. Let's go. Here we go.
Was he didn't have his headlights on and he didn't have his seatbelt on. Things that most people would get a notice to appear. He got punches in his face, head beat against the concrete, and a gun drawn on him. Right. That is excessive and the most kind way of expressing it. That is excessive force 101.
Do y'all see how you can twist the story?
Absolutely. He was hit outside the car. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I work for the Florida Times Union. So, as far as I know, there's not a legal action pending on this. No new charges against William. No lawsuit filed. You guys are attorneys. Attorney practice through the courts. What do you have coming?
We're civil rights attorneys, and we plan to explore every possible legal remedy to get some measure of justice for William McNeel Jr. Every possible legal remedy. If this was your child, we're going to do everything that you would want done if this was your child.
In addition to recovering William from the physical injuries, how else are you doing beyond just
You know, I'm going to refrain from William from answering that question. I think that, like I said, he's still under care of a doctor. Obviously, he's under care of a physician. He still has some issues going on. Like I said, it was our hope and prayer that he able to make a full recovery, but he's still trying to come back. Any other questions?
And just let me say this while we get ready to take the last question. Really,
sit down, man.
We want you all to think about if this was your child. That's right. Black and white alike. We want you to think about if this was your son, young son, doing everything right.
If it was my son, if it was my nephew or one of my family members, I'd have been telling him 100 times, the next time police officer asks you to get out the car, you'll get out, won't you? You must exit. I can't remember if the police officer, of course, asked for his driver's license. I don't think he gave the police officer his driver's license. If the police officer asks you for your driver's license, you got to give it to him, especially if you're driving a car. That's 100%. I don't know. I can't remember. I do so many videos, but I'm almost sure that he refused to give his driver's license to that police officer. But if he would have gave his driver's license to the police officer wouldn't have been asking him to step out the car. You think about that one. Yeah. Put
and
that
I know
in your
some
pipe.
of y'all can't fathom the police stopping your child for driving without headlights.
I don't give a damn what they stopped you
in
for.
broad daylight. We think it's pretextual. We think it's racial profiling. But I want you to try to put yourself in our shoes. Try to put yourself in William's shoes just for a second. The police stop you and tell you, you say, why are you stopping me? And they say, well, you don't have your headlights on and it's raining. And you look and you're like, there's no rain. And why are you stopping me? And all he does, while I say it's a Rosa Parks 21st century moment, he as a black person says, you know, I'm tired of it. I'm going to try to demand my constitutional rights. That's the only thing that William McNeel did. And that's the only thing you would want your children to do. To say, as a citizen, don't I have the right to know why you're violating my Fourth Amendment rights against search and seizure unlawfully? That's it. Nothing more. So search your hearts, America. If this was your child, wouldn't you be proud that William kept his calmness and his demeanor and de-escalated it? And let that govern you when you call on the sheriff to hold these police officers accountable. Because that's what we have to get here. We have to have accountability. Attorney Daniels, is there anything else?
Got one more question up in the front.
So this question is for Mr. McNeel or for Mr. and Mrs. Sterling. Will has now gone. This video has been seen worldwide. What is something you would like the world to know about your son or Will about yourself that they don't know, but you think that they should know?
Could you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
What is something you would like the world to know about your son that they do not know, but you believe they should know? We should know.
Just that he is a really, really good man of God. He's a mentor of all the children in the neighborhood. He's a self-taught musician in our church. I'm sorry? What you ask me?
Which instrument?
Oh, he plays the trombone. He taught himself how to play the keyboard. He also taught himself how to play the drums. So he's a really good son.
He had a scholarship last year, right? He's on scholarship lip song. He volunteers in the band, and yes, he did get a scholarship.
as Dr. Davis, he's a biology major. I went to school at the University of Maryland, and the biology people was pretty smart. Biology major at Livingstone College, and he volunteered in the band. He's in marching band. So this is a great kid. He mentored the people. You know, this is like Ben said, he's one of the best. You know, and even in the face of the best, you still spring the worst in law enforcement. Still see the worst in law enforcement. You want to close us out? In prayer. Thank you, guys. It'll be more to come. We will keep y'all up to date through our releases. So let's stand by. Come with me.
Well, you just heard from William McNeel, his parents, and his attorneys here as they talk about that viral incident involving JSO officers. The attorneys that you saw speak included well-known Harry Daniels, Ben Crump.
Authorities in Jacksonville, Florida are investigating what happened.
Oh, my God. How did this jump in all of a sudden? I don't even want to see this.
During a February traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, my God. As soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, dude, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, man. Okay, let's start right here. This is my closing. This is what I Googled. Y'all can Google it and see. And please Google it. And please, I mean, help me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I Googled for the 50th time. If a police officer asks you to step out your car, do you have to? That's what I Googled. And this is the answer. It says, yes. If a police officer asks you to step out of your car during a traffic stop, you generally must comply. The word generally. Got to look that up to make sure. I don't, you must comply. That's what it should say, but they put the word generally in there. I can barely pronounce. Now, the Supreme Court has affirmed that officers can order occupants out of the vehicle during a traffic stop for officer safety. Refusing to comply could lead to further legal consequences. This is law. This should be taught to people before they even start telling them to put the key in the ignition, how to put your seatbelt on, adjust the mirrors. All this stuff should be in part of your driver's license. And it is, but it's kind of tucked away. And I think these are the rules of the land that we should be putting out front. This stuff should be taught in junior high school. This stuff should be taught in high school, because these grown men, the lawyers and the people like this crazy dude up here, you all are the ones who are educating the people wrong. You all are the ones who educating the people wrong, because you all with your fancy suits and your rights and everything, these people feel that they don't know. That little boy don't know. He's a biology major. He volunteers and taught himself how to play all this type of stuff, but he can't Google. He can't, he don't know he got a driver's license. He don't know that if the police pull you over, you must give him your driver's license. He don't know that, but he's smart and he's in college. Why do people think that if the police pull you over, you know to stop? You know damn well to stop that car. You driving and all of a sudden, whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. The police is behind you. You driving, right? You pull over. You don't pull over into the other lane. You know what you doing. I don't understand why these people think we stupid. That gray area, that's what the problem is. It's a little gray area that twists all the stuff up. It's a yes or no. When the sirens come on, the police tell you to pull over. Shoot, if that's the case, y'all should just keep going. F pulling over. I don't know what that means. Shoot, I put my sirens on, you supposed to pull over. They know that part. The police come to the car. License and registration, ma'am or sir. I ain't gotta give you nothing. Cause I ain't do nothing. Oh my God, man. We gotta do better. We gotta teach better. I think if we was to teach better, because they don't know. They don't know if I'm right. They don't know if them people right. Talking about something, he got pulled over. Oh, you could see it in his face like, damn, I wasn't supposed to say nothing about the seatbelt. That's a dead giveaway. The police officer said, I pulled you over because you didn't have your seatbelt on. All he got to do is have proof of that, man, and this whole thing is done. I don't know if he got proof. All he need is proof. The camera's on. If the police officer is seeing this officer driving and the camera can see that he don't have his seatbelt on. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just saying, if the police officer got proof that he 100% didn't have his seatbelt on, y'all up there just having fun. And that's a shame, man, because y'all standing on what you believe is right and you wrong as two left shoes. The police officers asked you to get out the car and you didn't get out the car. What if that was your son or daughter? If it was your son and daughter, I will hope and pray, because I would teach my kids and my peoples exactly what I'm saying. I don't give a daggone if the police tell you that you didn't brush your teeth this morning. That's why I pulled you over. Get out the car. If the police tell you to get out the car, you get out the car. I don't care what the problem is. You get out that car. Or I'm taking the car away and you can move out. You can move out my house because these are the rules of my house. We obey the rules of the land, period. I see this too much, man. And my people, I'm ashamed of y'all because you teaching our people wrong. Get out the goddamn cotton picking car, man. Stop acting like you know better than the police. That's what your problem is right there. You say a biology major, not a criminal justice major. I went to school with criminal justice for criminal justice. I ain't go to school for speaking, as you can tell. I went to school for criminal justice, and the professor is telling us what these rules are, and the kids in the damn class is telling them he wrong, and he's showing us what the rules are. Nah, forget that. I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna do that. But that's the rule. What you going? Not only are you going to disobey the police, you going to fail the class. We in trouble, y'all. That's all I got to say. We are in trouble. That's all I can. Look here, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.